all the kids that visited the set over the years, because I had kids visiting every single day over the 10 years.
You did. It was like you were running a creche.
They were fantastic, the producers. It's true, lots of the actors, but I think Alan Rickman and I took the record. But anyway, all of them, I made them promise the condition of them coming is that whenever I came on screen, they had to cheer and not explain that to the other people in the audience.
Which I think is top. A text here says, Lucius Malfoy is the king of badass. That is all.
Oh, God love him.
Although you have to say, I mean, people who've read the book will know that you're kind of scared.
You have been
I'm
whooped.
pathetic and, and cringing, slimming wreck. Actually, one of the lovely things for me is that all the other actors, these fabulous actors who do a turn every time, they basically do the same turn every time. And Lucius has been to prison in number 6. He's come back a horrible, shambling wreck of a man. I don't like to think what happened to him in there, but it wasn't very tasty. And then I come and sit at the table. I think maybe Voldemort is going to give me a place back at his right-hand side. And instead he takes my wand and he snaps it, which is really an act of castration, let's face it, in front of the other Death Eaters and my son and wife. And then I think he's going to kill me with his wand. And he can't even be asked. Can I say that? I have already. He can't be bothered killing me at the table. And from that moment on, the ground is very uncertain under my feet.
And that the scene early on in which that's happening, obviously the whole thing about who's got which wand turns out to be very, very important going on. But my assumption is that Rafe Fiennes is wearing only some of that makeup in real life and some of it's done digitally.
Yes, he has a nose when we shoot.
It's not just that he's wearing a
snaky nose.
No. He's got all the kind of broken veins and bad teeth and funny fingers, but he's got a nose and he's got funny coloured dots on his face. So he's a little bit more like a Damien Hirst painting. And then they just digitally reconfigure it to make the snake nose afterwards. Yeah. But on the other hand, I have to say that Rafe Fiennes, who's thoroughly charming in real life, when they say action, reminded me oddly of my very first day on Potter 9 years ago, whatever it was, with Richard Harris, because also a very charming, fabulous anecdotalist, and you say action and he drilled you. There's just waiting an extra half a beat before he spoke and you think, is it me? What's he going to do? And I felt like he was about to literally drive that one through my eye.
Wow.
He felt capable of anything. He's a very scary dude.
Sally Coleman in Sheffield, and this is just touching on the point which you've addressed, but let's do it specifically. My son, aged nearly 8, is desperate to see the new Harry Potter. Is it suitable or too scary? No, I mean, she says, I know it's a 12A.
I think if they've seen number 6, it's not like there's new characters, new monsters or nightmare images. It's a sense of dread and real peril and a sense that the world is not a safe place to live in that I think is more disturbing than any actual imagery. I don't know what you think.
Well, I mean, the standard BBFC thing is at 12 certificate, below 8 it is not a good idea. So I mean, I think 8 is fine. As I said, my 9-year-old really, got it. I mean, obviously he has read the book, and I think a massive amount of the audience will have read the book. But there is, it's not to do with individual images being shocking, because actually in some ways there are individual images that are more shocking in previous films. It's to do with just the mounting sense of despair. And I refer again to that thing about saying that bits of it look like an art film. After you've had sort of all these vistas in which the skies are darkening, everything's shot in half light, there are scenes in which the whole screen will be black and just a shaft of light with characters down the far end of it. Actually, I think it's more that you require a certain amount of maturity to be able to invest in that.
It's like the lull before the storm. Things get darkest before they're light, and you really do feel that there's an inevitable collision coming. I mean, you get a sense of that truck coming at you, and there's no way to dodge it. And Harry and Ron and Hermione are in these last moments almost of their childhood, but it's too late for them. It's on their shoulders. I thought it was, frankly, I know I mean it, and so it sounds like I'm a snake oil salesman, but no one needs to sell tickets to this film. I think the filmmakers are spectacularly brave that they continue, and particularly this one, to change the goalposts and go, this isn't like the other films. We're not going to give you any of the familiar elements. We're going to tell the story the way we think it ought to be told, at the speed we ought to tell it. We want to tell it, and we're not going to do it in 3D because we can't do it well enough, and we're going to drain the colours, and we're going to make you jump if we
What
feel
about
like
the next one? Is that going to be in 3D?
I think they have enough time. I think that they think that if they go through the process painstakingly enough and every frame by frame, they'll be able to deliver something that matches.
Well, there is going to be a 3D version of this. The idea is that it is going to happen, but it'll. My presumption is that they'll release the 3D version of this just before releasing the final instalment. I would still hope, on the basis, because obviously the two things were shot simultaneously. I mean, the look is not going to be substantially different. I understand there'll be special effects set pieces. My hope is that they would do what they're doing now, which is put the film out as it was shot, and then if you want to see a 3D version, then fine, go ahead.
I have faith in the three Davids, we call them the David Barron and David Haim, the producers, and David Yates, who directed 5, 6, and 7 and 8. That they care more. I mean, I'm embarrassed at how cheesy I keep sounding when I talk about this film, but it's a really anomalous experience as a storyteller. that there is as much love and care for the affection and the story in the people making it as there is in the people watching it. And they want to make sure that they're proud of it when it's all finished, because they'd hate to make a dud at the end.
Well, it is unprecedented to have spent that much money and to have gone public and said, we are doing this in 3D, and then to have said, actually, no. There isn't,
there's a confidence that they'll be able to make it good enough that they won't be embarrassed, and they care about that.